Welcome back to. Welcome back to. Today we're diving into a classic from the late 20th century, the USA 1980. 1980. If you're into coins, you'll definitely want to know about its value and history. So, let's break it down. First off, let's talk about the design. The 1980 penny features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. You can find this image on the obverse side of the coin. On the reverse, we see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 to 2008 before being replaced by the Union Shield design. Now, let's talk value. When it comes to circulated 1980 pennies, the value is pretty low. These coins are worth just 1 cent, the value they were originally minted for. However, that doesn't mean these coins don't have any worth to collectors. Let's take a closer look. 980 pennies in circulation today are pretty common, so their value in circulation remains close to face value. But if you're lucky enough to have one that's in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and looks almost brand new, well, then you might have a little extra value on your hands. Uncirculated 1,980 pennies could be worth anywhere from 10 to 25 cents, depending on their quality. But what if you have a proof 1,980 penny? These are special editions that were minted for collectors, not for regular circulation. They are usually struck with more detail and a mirrored finish. A proof penny from 1980 could be worth a couple of dollars depending on its condition. Now, collectors also look for specific varieties of coins, such as those with errors. For instance, the 1980 penny might have some unique minting errors like double dies or offs. These can increase the value of the coin dramatically, sometimes even more than $1 for a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent. Let's talk mintage numbers. The 1980 penny was produced in large quantities with over 7.7 billion coins being minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. So, if you come across one, don't expect it to be rare. However, since it's a staple in the history of U.S. coinage, it holds a lot of significance for collectors. In terms of collecting, the 1980 penny might not be a big-ticket item, but it's still an important piece of U.S. coin history. These pennies were produced during the administration of President Jimmy Carter, and they carry with them a snapshot of the early ADS era. So even though the 1980 penny may not be worth much in circulation, it's a piece of the past you can hold in your hands. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting, every coin tells a story, and the 1980 penny is no exception. Let's take a quick step back in time and explore the history behind the 1980 USA 1 penny. The 1980 penny is part of a long tradition of U.S. currency that dates all the way back to the first minting of the penny in 1793. Since the early days of the U.S. Mint, the design of the penny has gone through many changes. However, by 1909, something significant happened. The penny became home to the image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been the face of the penny ever since, making it one of the most iconic and recognized designs in American coinage. By the time we get to 1980, the penny had already gone through several shifts in its production, including changes in its composition. In 1980, the penny was still made primarily of copper, though it contained a small amount of zinc. This composition would change again in the 1980s due to rising copper prices. There was a growing concern about the penny's cost. It took a lot of resources to mint these small value coins, and by 1982, the U.S. Mint decided to switch the penny's composition from primarily copper to a copper-plated zinc coin, which is what we have today. So while the 1980 penny was minted with copper, it marked the tail end of an era for the U.S. penny. It's one of the last years when the coin was primarily made of copper before that major shift. This gives it a special place in history as it represents the transition between the old and the new. Now, in terms of circulation, the 1980 penny was minted in massive quantities. Over 7.7 billion of these coins were produced between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That's a lot of pennies, and it's part of why they're so easy to find today. But despite its commonality, the 1,980 penny carries with it a snapshot of the economic and social landscape of the time. The 1,980s was a decade of change in the U.S., with Ronald Reagan being elected president, the country recovering from a recession, and major technological advancements taking shape. The penny, yet in a way, captured the part of everyday transactions during a period of great change. So there you have it. The 1,980 cent coin isn't just a piece of copper and zinc. It's a symbol of a transformative era in American history. Whether you find it in your pocket or in a collection, that little penny tells a bigger story about the past. This history section adds depth to the coin's background, connecting it to broader historical events and changes in U.S. minting practices. You can use it to give your audience a more comprehensive understanding of the coin's place in U.S. history. Thanks for tuning in to today's deep dive into the USA 198 cent coin from 1980. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more awesome coin content, and leave a comment below if you found any cool 1,980 pennies in your collection. Until next time, keep collecting.